So today we are talking about a sneaker. I know, shocker. Shocking stuff. What sneaker are we going to discuss? This is a sneaker Buckets is excited about. The anti-hype beast. This man is excited. You know, if you tune into the videos, you know that it takes a little bit to excite this man. So what sneaker are we talking about?
Air Jordan, why not 0.1 Russell Westbrook.
There you go. The actual reason that I shifted over to you was because I didn't know the exact name of it. It's Russell Westbrook's first signature sneaker.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool when you think about it, because obviously Russ has been down with Jordan Brand for a while, but he's never had his own signature sneaker. You know, Melo had the signature sneaker.
Chris Paul has the signature.
Chris Paul had the signature. But now Russ has his own sneaker, and I think that's only right. You know, you look at MVP last year. This year, he has simmered a little bit statistically, but when you factor in the fact that Melo is now on his team and Paul George, it kind of makes sense. And he still had some huge games, and his numbers are still pretty ridiculous. So Russ debuted them last night, actually, against the Lakers. They absolutely clapped the Lakers.
Yeah.
Russ was balling out of his mind, and like he so often does. And so I guess that's a good sign, right? First time wearing the sneakers. You know, I wonder sometimes about like players, right? And like there's different superstitions and just different things. Like if the first time you hoop in a sneaker you have a terrible game, might that kind of sour you on the sneaker? Or does it not even matter?
Nah, I don't know.
Or if you have a great game, is it like, yo, I love this shoe? Who knows?
Nah, I don't know.
It's interesting though.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. So obviously we don't have a pair in hand yet. We will have a pair very, very soon. But we do know the specs and the tech that they've used, so we can predict pretty well. It's never going to be the same as actually having it in hand and lacing it up and going and playing in them. So before we get into the tech that they used and all that stuff and give you our initial thoughts, et cetera, let's talk about when the shoe will be available, how much it costs, and all that good stuff. So the first release, I guess you could say, is January 15th, but that's a more limited colorway, and that is the mirror image colorway with the newspaper clippings with Westbrook and Jordan. It's really, really cool. That's the colorway that I hope to get. So those are on January 15th. And then on February 15th, we're going to have the two-way colorway, which will be more generally available. Both of them cost $125, which is a great price point. Really, really good price point.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you have so many sneakers that are in that $200 range, it's nice to have something that's, you know, just basically a little bit over 100, because everyone can't afford that super, super high-end price range. There you have it. With that said, let's dive in. Swan dive.
No splash.
No splash. Stick the landing. 9.7 out of 10 for yours. 10 out of 10 for mine.
Oh, wow. No.
So what they used was a fused mesh upper and a full-length Zoom Air unit, which I really, really like, because that means more impact protection. That means more cushioning. A lot of you know that's a big deal to me. Buckets knows that's a big deal to me. I like the cushioning. I like it a lot. So I think that that's going to be really, really good. And then they've got that Zoom Air unit sitting in this Phylon foam midsole.
Yeah.
We've played in, at this point, a lot of the full-length Zoom Air units.
Yeah.
And I like them a lot. So I'm really, really happy that they went that route and gave it the full-length treatment as opposed to just putting it in a heel. Me personally, I like that. We talked about the cushioning, but let's jump back to the upper, which is that fused mesh that I mentioned. But there's also that smooth vamp that's kind of like one of the most noticeable features on the sneaker.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's kind of the biggest like question mark a little bit as far as performance-wise. It looks really cool, but performance-wise, how is that going to play a factor? Obviously, that is there for stability, for support, for lockdown, for all of everything that kind of goes into that department. So how will that perform? I personally think it's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
Because you have that mesh, but then you have something that gives you a little bit more sturdiness, a little bit more oomph.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be good. So that's the bulk of it tech-wise. You have the fused mesh, you have the vamp, and you have the full-length Zoom air unit in the Phylon midsole. So I'm excited to play in them.
I'm very excited, and I really like this mirror image colorway. The newspaper clippings are kind of like how loud it is. It's very
dope.
Russ. It's very Russ.
It
is
is.
what I'll say.
I agree 100%, and I think that that's cool. I mentioned that over and over again. It's cool to be able to see the player in the sneaker or coming through the sneaker, so to speak. It's very similar and very kind of in cadence, for lack of a better word, and in rhythm
With the 32.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like an extension of that. It's not like they went in a whole different direction. And we going back to, I guess, like the 28, we've really liked Jordan models performance-wise, pretty much starting from there. The 29, probably my favorite, you too.
Yeah.
But they've all been kind of that same ilk. And I think that's dope.
I thought the 31 was a step back.
31 was a step back, and then the 32 was a step back up.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the 31 was definitely my least favorite of the bunch.
Yeah.
And then the 32 was like, it's kind of like, okay, we're right back at it now.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't want to talk your heads off, but did want to talk about some of the main features on the sneaker because, like I said, I had questions rolling in a lot last night, especially because while Russ was playing in them, had a bunch of people hit me up on Snapchat and Twitter and different places. Even got a few emails with people asking about the sneakers. So there you have it. Those are our kind of initial thoughts. I'm excited to play in them. Buckets is excited to play in them. And I think that's pretty much it. We didn't really discuss the traction. The traction looks cool enough,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the traction is one of those things that we're not going to sit here and like sell some dream about the traction when we haven't actually tried them out.
It's like the fit. It's like you need to actually like put it on to see if it fits you good. Or
Exactly.
Like you need to like run on the basketball court to see if the traction's good.
Exactly. With a Zoom Air unit, you kind of know what it's going to feel like. Yes, it could be a little more pronounced. Yes, it could be, you feel it a lot, you don't, it feels bouncy, it doesn't. But for the most part, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Especially with Jordan Brand because they've been using this for a little while now.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all we have. So stay tuned for more videos on the Russell Westbrook. When we get them in hand, we surely will be lacing them up and we will be bringing you along with us because that is what we do on the Almost Daily Vlog. Leave a comment below. Let us know how you feel about this sneaker. Is it super dope? Is it hideous? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Are you excited to hoop in them like we are? Whatever you want to talk about it below in the comments. Always love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. This is Buckets to my right. As you can see, he's got the beanie hat on.
It's cold.
It's a little brisk down in Florida. Personally, I love it because it's perfect hoodie weather.
Yeah.
But it is a little chilly. Got into the 40s. They were even saying that it might snow later this week. So stay tuned for that. That's all I got. This is Buckets to my right, the silence behind the violence. I am Foamy, also known as Foam Shire. Put a little accent over the I, and we got nothing else. So we are out of here. Karate chop, nice. Let's dive in. Swan dive.
No splash.
No splash. Stick the landing. 9.7 out of 10 for yours. 10 out of 10 for mine.
Oh, wow. No.